Dalo is a very important crop for Taveuni. Commercial production of Dalo began in 1993, and now each year about 8,000 to 9,000 tons are exported, worth $23 million. Although Dalo grows well here, some existing methods of producing the crop are very demanding on the soil. Over the course of several seasons, declining soil health can lead to reduced production and lower profits for growers. A new production system for Dalo is now available, and the good news is that not only is it better for the soil, it is more profitable for the growers. The system is based on rotation with the bean crop known as mucuna. Mucuna is a deep-rooted legume that takes nitrogen from the atmosphere and restores it in the soil. It can also draw leached elements from the lower soil profile. Mucuna puts back in the soil many of the nutrients that a Dalo crop takes out. It can also improve soil structure by decomposing into excellent mulch. This improves organic matter, increases biological activity, and suppresses weeds. Many growers are now using mucuna in rotation with their Dalo crops to improve their soil health and increase profits. Remesio Ravuiwasa has tried growing mucuna among some of his Dalo crop and has noticed a big difference in the health and the size of the crop he has been able to achieve.
Last year I tried mucuna out, and I really like it because I got a good quality crop from last year's crop. So I started trying to plant mucuna from now onwards. Firstly, I can see that it doesn't cost me a lot because I don't have to buy fertilizer and chemicals to kill the weeds. I don't need a lot of labor to clean up my farm because the mucuna leaves are there down there. The weed doesn't grow up very fast, so it saves a lot of money for me to that area. Secondly, it makes the crops bigger and give me a quality crop. I mostly get Dalo for a kg, and sometimes it's 800 grams. From where I plant mucuna, I get 1.5 kg to 2 kg. I will continue to use mucuna, yes.
Timing is very important for producing a good Dalo crop, especially when rotation is involved. So it is very important to plan ahead to ensure that all steps in the growing process are completed at the right time. It is also important to have a financial plan to ensure that any inputs such as fertilizers can be purchased and applied when they are required. The Dalo production process can be broken down into this series of stages. Each of these stages has tasks and costs associated with it. Planning ahead will make it easier to manage these stages and ensure they are completed on time. The first step is land clearing. This involves a clearing of weeds in preparation for planting, using sprays or physical removal, or both. The typical cost of this stage is about $120 per 1,000 Dalo plant. The next step is sourcing clean planting material. It's important to use only disease-free suckers in order to produce a high-quality crop. Suckers sourced from diseased mother plants are also likely to carry the disease, so it's important to avoid using them even if they look healthy, as this will only cost you more in the long run. The cost of this planting material is around $150 per 1,000 plants. Application of fertilizers prior to planting is the next step. This may include applying lime on low pH soils to ensure optimum plant growth and nutrient availability. Where lime is required, it should ideally be applied at least 6 months before planting Dalo or while you are planting Mukuna. Application of rock phosphate and fish meal will also help to replenish both macro and micronutrients in the soil. The cost of this stage is around $150 per 1,000 plants. Planting of suckers is the next stage and typically costs around $100 per 1,000 plants. A spacing of 1 meter by 1 meter is ideal for Dalo. Separate planting material into uniform sizes and ensure that suckers planted together are consistent size to ensure best growth. Mark planting implements at 50 to 20 centimeters will also help ensure all suckers are planted at a consistent depth. It is best to measure plant spacing, as uniform spacings will ensure the best productivity. After planting, weeds must be managed to avoid competing with your Dalo crop. Weed control typically costs around $60 per 1,000 plants. The next important stage in this new production system involves planting Mukuna amongst your Dalo. The Mukuna will put back into the soil some of what the Dalo takes out, which will save you money not only for your current Dalo crop, but also the next. Plant Mukuna seeds among your Dalo at a similar spacing when the Dalo plants reach 6 months of age. Mukuna seeds can be sourced from the Ministry of Agriculture, or you can produce your own seed by growing Mukuna on a tree or living fence. 120 Mukuna plants will produce 4 to 6 bags of seed, or enough to plant 3 to 4 hectares. Store any unused Mukuna seeds in a cool environment so that they remain viable longer. The expected cost of Mukuna establishment is just $42 per 1,000 plants. At around 6 to 7 months of age, your Dalo should be ready to harvest. Ensure that you harvest, carry, and store combs carefully to achieve the best quality and price for your crop. After harvesting your Dalo crop, allow the Mukuna to continue to grow and bring your soil back to health. It is important to allow at least 6 months for the Mukuna to do this before planting another Dalo crop. It's best to plant your next Dalo crop in a neighboring area during this time. The Mukuna will often die off naturally in time, but if it's growing vigorously, you can also cut it. As the Mukuna decomposes, it forms a thick mat that suppresses weeds. This mat makes ideal mulch into which you can plant a future Dalo crop. By rotating your Dalo crop between 2 areas and allowing Mukuna to grow in between each Dalo crop, you can continue to achieve high productivity and low rejects in your existing land. Growers who are using this Mukuna rotation system are achieving very good crops and high profits. Even at $1 per comb, these growers are making money. But when prices increase to $2 or $3 per comb, they are in the best position to make a very high profit for their families. Just as importantly, they are returning the land to the state in which they inherited it and in a condition that they can be proud to pass on to their children. For more information, contact the Ministry of Agriculture, Taveuni.